Welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. I'm Jeff Allison, and thank you for watching.
Good morning, welcome back to Allison Customs Project Car TV. Today I'm working on, actually I don't even know what I'm working on today. Probably a little bit of everything. I need to do some cleanup in here, and yeah, a lot of cleanup needs to be done in here. Well, as part of that cleanup, one of the things I got going is a bunch of boxes that showed up while I was out flying a trip. So I'm going to clean this table off real quick, put this stuff away, get some of those boxes out. We'll do some unboxing, I don't know, just see what we got. And then see about getting some more of this stuff done. Still got a lot of work to do on the Chevelle, still working on the Mustang hood. Not sure you've even seen that video yet. And yeah, just there's a bunch of projects. I'm going to try and get some done today and tomorrow, get a bunch of these videos out in the next few weeks. So. Alright, so this first one, and almost certainly, most of this stuff is going to be for the Chevelle, but the owner does a lot of his own parts ordering, so I get an email saying, hey, oh, got a good deal on such and such, and he sends me out some parts. And then I just try to make sure everything shows up on time, or shows up and compared to the list he sends me. And from that also I then inventory all this stuff, put it up on shelves so that at a later date I know it's here and I can find it. You know, end up accidentally ordering something the second time for them. So, alright, so item number one. Let's see. Dakota Digital, it's a climate controller for his AC unit. So this unit will go either in the console or the dash. We've still been talking about different layouts for what we want to do with all that. And then that'll be the controller for his AC and heat. So cool. Get that into inventory and let the owner know it's here. Let's see what else we got here around here. Here's another one, Eddie Motorsports. Again, well, there's I think 3 more boxes over there, 2 or 3, and all of this stuff should be. I don't think I have anything on order for the Mustang, and I've done a few other small projects here recently for other customers. Got one guy with a big diesel truck, and did a bunch of welding on an intake manifold for water meth injection on it. And so, you know, but a lot of that stuff I don't film. It's not particularly interesting. Well, these are the hood hinges. These things are cool. These things are neat. So, you guys may have seen, of course, Eddie Motorsports. They do hood and trunk hinges. So this is like a replacement style, but with no spring. There's no spring required on it. Instead, they use these little hydraulic pistons, hold the hood up, and bag all this back up because it'll stay in the box. There you go. So that's going to be a passenger side hood hinge. Then that little shock goes between these 2 ball mounts. Mounts to the factory locations on the hood and the firewall, or on the fender well. Fender, I guess, side of the fender. Anyway, those things are just slick, man. All aluminum, machined beautifully. Nothing to complain about with that. Look at that. Just nice, smooth operation. The owner and I have been talking about putting these in the car. We've kind of gone back and forth trying to decide whether the expense was worth it. And personally, I'm glad he decided they were. I think they're very, very nice looking. Of course, we got 2 of them in here. We got some hardware. Nice button head stainless hardware. So there's another one we'll get into inventory. I think this one's for my wife. We'll open it just in case. Yeah, you guys probably don't see this. New set of dishes for my wife. All our kids are grown and out of the house, and we went on a trip this summer. Those of you who are also follow Facebook or whatever with us probably saw some of the pictures. We were over in Europe for a while. Just first real vacation that just my wife and I went on together since, we've got three kids. They're all one's 34 and the others are in their 20s, and they. With them gone, this is actually, like I said, the first time we were able to take a vacation, just my wife and I, since, well, as long as either one of us can remember. And so we got back, we were over there, we did some window shopping and other stuff, and one of the things we noticed is a lot of places we went, or maybe I noticed, dishes were really nice, and I was like, why don't we have the old broken chipped dishes from when the kids were all young? So we started ordering up some new dishes, and then we had a big party last week. We realized we weren't going to have enough, so we ordered another set, another matching set, another set of servers. Only to figure out that it wasn't going to get there in time anyway. But now we've got it for the future, so you don't want to see dishes. Let's see what else. This one's from New Relics. For those of you who don't know, they do a lot of electronic stuff. I think more than just power windows, but basically what we've got here is the power window kits. And it's 2 sets of black, let's see, front and the rear quarters. So we're going to do the rear quarters in a power window. So for those of you who've kind of watched the quarter panels going in with the heat ducts and everything, might have seen at one time I had the quarter windows in there, and that was strictly to make sure they were actually going to be able to, with all the mods we've made, we were actually going to be able to roll them up and down and not just have to fix them like in the up position. So we got all that stuff in there. Took a little tweaking on the rails. We ended up shortening the long rail, but all that meant is the window couldn't go. Basically, it rolls down and then gets level with that quarter and disappears. It just won't drop below. So there you go. Not much special. Anybody's ever done it? Just a window regulator, power motor, and nice new rollers, new kit. Looks pretty sharp. Make sure we got 4 of them in here. There's another one. Instructions. 2 more. So this one right here would be this one will be for the front door, and take me a minute to figure out left or right, but and then there's shorter ones that fit in that rear quarter. And there's not a lot of room there, so another thing I have to go back and look at is just make sure everything's going to fit with these regulators. The regulators, the manual regulators really weren't an issue as far as getting in there, so I don't foresee a problem, but it's always something you want to check before you get the whole car assembled, only to figure out, oh wait, we can't get something done. Might recognize the logo. Rick's tanks. These guys make awesome tanks, fuel tanks. And they come out of El Paso, Texas. I've ordered quite a few tanks from them over the years, and the coolest thing about Rick's is not only do they have stainless steel custom tanks. They've got, which I believe this one will be, they're doing a stamped tank again now, and they're putting corner pickups and stuff in it, so you can use a little less expensive tank on a car that maybe you don't need every bell and whistle on. Drops the price of, depending on the make and model, it's $500 to $1,000. Okay, so the other thing I was saying about Rick's tanks here is they'll do custom tanks for you. So, for example, I was working on a 68 GMC pickup, and we wanted to move the tank from in the cab to under the bed. The owner does not want the tank filler coming through the bed. So, called up the guys over there at Rick's, and pretty quickly they figured out, hey, we can take a 69 Camaro tank is what we were going to start with, and we can narrow it so it'll fit between the frame rails on the pickup, and then it has a low point for the filler in the dead center of the back, because it was behind the license plate on those cars. So they figured out we could, as long as we had to drop the tank a little bit lower than just tied up inside the frame rails, but it didn't need to hang all the way down below. We could get the fuel filler in behind the license plate on the truck. So stuff like that, where they're like, oh yeah, we'll bob the ends, we'll move this and change, and then we changed the neck style to, instead of having the old tabbed gas cap where it kind of went in and then you spun it a quarter of a turn and had the tabs on it to hold it in place, put in a threaded style so we could put in a fill-through cap, so you don't even have to take the fuel cap off anymore. And we did all that, figured it all out over the phone. I gave him some measurements. I had a price for my customer in 30 minutes, and the guys just work with you on everything. I mean, we've come up with ideas for fuel tanks. It's like for this Mustang, we're talking about putting the fuel filler out in the quarter panel or something, and yeah, we can move the filler neck to another location and get you the right pumps, and so really easy to work with, fair price. Let's see if we can get this one out of here. The Chevelle, and got a cool hat. Wiring harness, rubber fuel filler neck. Looks like the actual filler part, and probably it's another one. We'll probably call them up and change this one out. Get one this is the tab style. Show you what I was talking about a minute ago. So you see that? So the two tabs in there. So the cap goes in, then it locks underneath. So what we'll do is call them up. They can probably send the same thing, but with a screw-in cap, so we can use a fill-through cap. Some new tank straps. There we go. And here's where you can see the differences they're doing to these tanks. So they're taking a stamped tank. They've already got it put in with the LT4 fuel pump and filter, the fuel gauge sensor, fuel level sensor, and then it's got corner pickups put in there. So maybe later I'll get a chance, we'll open this up and take a look inside, just make sure the whole tank is clean before we want to plan to start using it, but give you guys a pretty good idea of what they're doing with those. That's it. That's all the boxes for today. I'll put the camera up later when I get some more work started on some other projects and get this stuff put away.
Thanks for watching Allison Customs Project Car TV. Like us on Facebook and check us out at AllisonCustomsOnline.com.